Welcome to a 4v4 on Sittard Summer. That's right, it's one of the new community maps submitted in the most recent patch, March 31st patch. We have Sittard Summer in the auto match rotation now, and since this is my very first cast on this map, it's a 4v4, possibly also 3v3 map. I am going to, in Star-Crossed Casts tradition, take a look at the tactical map, do a little bit of preliminary discussion, and boy does this look familiar. This looks exactly like Veer River Valley did. Well, not actually, because Veer River Valley had 4 victory points, 2 on each side of the river, which is like the worst design ever. But it does have 3 bridges, river going straight down the middle. This is like a nightmare incarnate. Anybody that played the Shelter, Leon, or Veer River Valley knows exactly what I'm talking about in COH1, and apparently it's made its way to COH2 auto match for whatever reason. I cannot imagine that this is going to be a popular map, purely looking at the tactical map. I feel like this is a disaster waiting to happen. I don't even know what's gonna happen in this game, but I feel like I don't think this is the greatest idea on Relic's part. But I don't know. I could be wrong. Who knows? This bridge appears to be destructible here in the left. This bridge definitely not destructible. This bridge on the right does look destructible. So very Veer River Valley-esque, and engagements clearly happening on all the bridges at the very beginning of the game. I'm almost 100% sure that we're going to see the map get split in half horizontally, no matter how these engagements go, unless one side engages way better than the other. But I don't know. I could be wrong. We'll see what happens. Allies actually getting pushed back a little bit on the right side. On the left, the Axis appear to be struggling, although the green cover from the Kuba Wagon wreck is helping not at all, since those Folks Grenadiers are way outnumbered and will be forced to retreat. So left side definitely goes to the Allies. Right side probably going to go to the Allies eventually. Just a matter of time. If we look at point layouts and strategic points on either side, just pretty standard stuff. The munitions point locations are a little interesting right there by the river, making them potentially a little dangerous to try and capture. I don't know, maybe with indirect fire set up across the river. The river's quite wide, so you actually would probably kind of struggle. For example, you could not cover that munitions point with a machine gun on this side, so yeah, I don't know, it's probably just going to be pretty much split in half. And the fuel points are located right by the bridges. Left side fuel point by the bridge, right side fuel point on the other side of the bridge right there. So at least the fuel is in the easiest possible location to harass. If you make it just barely across the bridge and you can manage to get that fuel point harassed, I mean, that's something. That helps a little, I guess. But yeah, I don't think I can really imagine this map producing particularly interesting flanking or gameplay. It's literally just 3 choke points right in the middle, and 2 of the bridges can be destroyed, which would turn the game into 1 choke point. The whole map going down to 1 grind fest here on the central bridge. I can't even imagine the meat grinder here in the center that this map is probably going to produce. I don't even have to watch the game to have a pretty good feeling for how what it's gonna boil down to, although I will give credit to the Axis over here on the right side, making progress, trying to push the Allies back, but they're fighting for the wrong side, I think. Getting control of this munitions point counts for something, but the fuel point is over here on the left side bridge, so I think the on the one hand, the best defense of their fuel is going to be their offense across to the other side of the bridge, but on the other hand, they don't gain that much by holding this territory other than the security of not losing their own fuel point. And the victory points over here too, though. That's certainly worth something. So M3's gonna chase away some Folks Grenadiers over here. Like I said, even with a pretty impressive push by the Axis, it's just a matter of time before they get pushed back, forced back to the other side of the river, and this is gonna turn into artillery all over the place. Look at that satchel timing. That was pretty impressive. Bridge is almost destroyed though. 5 minutes into the game, one of the 3 routes to the other half of the map is like now a death trap. Just about anything could destroy that. Left side bridge still intact, but we've got a demo charge on it, and the retreat path is blocked. I'm not sure what the rationale is there. Kind of dangerous, I guess. They can just retreat through the center, but blocking their own retreat path seems like kind of a weird thing to do. Barbed wire going up on the center bridge, and I'd say that's enough map discussion. I'd say this one is pretty self-explanatory just by looking at the tactical map. So let's talk about our players. We've got Earl Ragner as OKW, Safado also OKW, Breakthrough Tactics chosen by one player, Kex Doze as OKW, and Alfarius as OKW. So quadruple OKW. I'm not sure I've ever seen an all OKW 4v4 team. That's going to leave their economy actually a little bit weak if the game gets really long. Which it might. It probably will, let's be honest. They won't have any Oster support to throw up fuel caches and bolster their fuel income. They're going to be operating purely on just their half of the map with no caches and no resource boosting Oster support. No Opal Blitz, no caches, nothing of that nature. No Luftwaffe supply. I could go on. So, pretty weak economy for a 4v4 team composition. And then as allies, we've got Kop, Uck, Smirks, Barton, who submitted this replay, and Don Billy playing as triple Soviets, one American. So a lot of OKW, mostly Soviets, and then one lonely American player in the 4v4 who's, let's see what his commanders are. Infantry Company, of course. Oh, his retreat path's not blocked. There's a little tiny hole right there. Okay, I take back my previous comments. They'll be able to retreat just fine. Black half-track setting up here in the center. From Kex Dose going to try to provide some firepower on that fighting position. If you can get that cleared up, Axis might be able to get the center VP under control. Holding this is important because it will be extremely difficult to retake once it gets captured. As you can see, just a fighting position is enough to defend it for a significant amount of time. The Allies have had this the entire game just because of that one machine gun pit. Flak half-track will finally be sufficient to get that cleared up, and the Axis will be able to get the center victory point under their control. The right side bridge has been destroyed by who knows what at some point. If the Axis even try, oh my god, I really hope that blob does not try to cross this bridge. That would just be heartbreaking. I hope there's a minesweeper upgrading on this squad or something. Oh god, this is so asking for it any second now. Okay, I don't think they're gonna even try. Maybe they're actually trying to destroy the bridge. Infantry support gun and Raketenwar for firing on the bridge to simply blow it up. It is in the Axis' best interest, really, for the game to last as long as possible, but if I'm being honest, neither of these sides has a particularly strong or weak late game. We've got Yag Tigers and King Tigers and maybe Command Panthers. Mostly just the Yag Tiger and Command Panther, really. 2 Yag Tigers already locked in, so by comparison, the Soviets are going to be operating on ISU 152 and 2 B4s, so just going to be an artillery and assault gun fest from hell, honestly. And yeah, I don't really think that either side has a particularly stronger or weaker late game. With 2 B4s, the Yag Tigers are probably going to get popped like balloons. The ISU 152 is going to be extremely dangerous against Axis infantry blobs. They're going to try and make a big push through the center right now. Allies struggling to hold their line a little bit. These big buildings right here actually get secured by the Axis. A couple squads of infantry roving through, looking for opportunities. More Sturmpyos moving up to support on these 2 isolated squads of guards. They're going to get caught maneuvering through the alleyway. Grenade and counter grenade. Ooh, that did huge damage. Look at that. I think we might see 2 wipes. There goes one. There goes the other. Oh no. Huge play right there against Smirks. Just lost both of those squads of guards, caught without a safe retreat path. And the Axis will maintain a hold on the center VP and a minor presence on the opposing side of the bridge, harassing territory up there with the Sturmpyos. Also trying to work on the combat engineers here, maybe work on the buildings a little bit. Squad of Grenadiers being forced to retreat. I think something blew up some Grenadiers over here on the right side. Bridge is still destroyed. Sturmpyos could probably throw that bridge back up pretty quickly. I don't know how much health it has, so it might take a while to repair that. It almost died to 1 satchel charge, so probably not that long to repair. It's kind of big, though. I don't really know how it works. Apparently he has no intention of repairing, though. Not yet, anyway. He's just going to wire it off. Wiring off a destroyed bridge, just to be safe. Axis have still got a minor presence on the enemy side of the bridge, and that will give them a really nice munitions boost as they take control of this point. Taking control of strategic points in a 4v4 is so much more valuable than in a 1v1. Creates a huge momentum swing as 4 teammates benefit from the income of a single point. It's kind of weird that points in 4v4 produce the same amount of income per player as in 1v1. It doesn't really make any sense. It results in a massive amount of munitions for every player and fuel. Just the sheer quantity of tanks and artillery abilities and stuff relative to the size of the map is so disproportional that it's just mass chaos. Stuka on the field firing on those clustered infantry. They do dodge laterally, good move. Takes very minor damage. T-70 on the field taking shots at the Obersoldaten squad will force it to retreat. Lots of forces clustered in the center right now. Axis infantry taking up position behind this bus. It's kind of a neat map object. I'm not sure I've seen that one before. You can shoot through it. It's green cover. I like that. It's like a really big green cover position. Conscripts moving up, tossing Molotovs to force their opponent from cover. Counter grenade though. Look at that counter grenade. Man, Smirks is getting destroyed. Look at that. That's another 2 squads wiped by a huge grenade. He has lost so much. What does he have left? Not much. He has a 1-man conscript squad, some fresh guards, and his combat engineers. Ouch. He's going for tier 4 now. Probably wants to throw a Katyusha on the field, compliment his teammates. Tier 3 right there. We've also got tier 4 from Barton, who already has 2 Katyushas. And he's probably going to start trying to pound away at the Axis forces that try to make their way across the bridge. So far, the Axis are experiencing a lot of success. Doing really well here in the early game. Don Billy's own recon lands right on Barton's army, losing him in engagement against these Fallschirmjäger. Every battle tells a story. Katyusha impacting here, taking out these Volksgrenadiers in the building. Sherman on the field. Katyusha just pounding away at the centers, is doing huge damage, forcing retreat. Stuka about to counter barrage here on the other half of the map. Doesn't really hit that much though. Pretty good dodge by the American player. T-70 finds an opportunity against the Fallschirmjäger over there. And will force a retreat. Axis have the Allies triple capped. Even on this map, they've managed to set up a triple cap. And they are securing a pretty good early lead. PTRS is plinking away at the Sherman. Sherman also gets a shot. Or no, sorry, on the Puma. PTRS is firing on the Puma, plus Sherman fire, bringing it quite low. It pops smoke and pulls back to safety. But then it moves to re-engage. Or no, that was the flak half track. Flak half track then gets taken down by the Sherman, which stuck around in that engagement for far too long. And the Allies have retaken control of their half of the map, getting the victory points slowed down. They need to take control of the central bridge, though. The left side bridge has probably been destroyed, long destroyed. The right side bridge also destroyed, which means that it is now only possible to cross this map by going through this extremely deadly corridor. The last of the Axis forces on this half of the map are about to be unseated by that T-70, and once that happens and B4s start getting built, plus Katyushas continue pounding away at this area, I don't even know how the game's gonna go. It's just gonna be ridiculous. Wonder how long this game is. I can probably just leave the camera like this for the whole rest of the game and miss none of the action. This will probably be the entire rest of the game. Look at this blob. Look at it, it's like 4 people's worth of blob going across the center. Oh man, there's a Sturmoffizier in there too. It's truly glorious. Truly a glorious blob. Katyusha firing. Oh god, this could be devastating. That actually went across the bridge. That wasn't that bad. Stuka firing as well. So much chaos. My computer can barely handle this. Oh man. Look at, oh my god. What was that? Everything just died. That was another Katyusha. Oh, the carnage. Oh, the carnage. At least some forces managed to rotate left and try and harass the fuel point. Some Obersoldaten making their way over there as well. Wow. I just want to check the kill. This one's already Vet 2 with 33 kills. Vet 2 with 33 kills. He's making only Katyushas because why would you make anything else? What is even the point? All you need is like an MG and AT gun wall on the bridge and then you're pretty much golden. I'm surprised the Allies haven't set up more of a defensive line. Axis are kind of walking across to their offensive half of the bridge like they own the place. Puma moving up with infantry support. T-70 and shock troops here should be able to unseat these infantry formations. Fallschirmjäger in the house are a pretty significant threat, but grenade will force them out. Now, that house is probably not even going to last that long. That looks like a pretty sturdy building. I've never seen a house with that many windows, actually, facing one side. And no windows facing the left, interestingly enough. Ooh, that infantry support gun shot. That's fun to see the infantry support gun buff in action. Suppresses 2 full shock troop squads right there. And he's still going to lose the engagement, though, because of counter grenades. Infantry getting too exposed, get wiped by that Scot. There's a Panther on the field already. Allies are probably going to struggle a little bit to keep that contained if they can't keep a hold on this bridge. No suppression, no anti-tank gunfire, and the Allied, or no, sorry, Axis infantry just keeps swarming across and harassing territory over there. They never seem to make it very far, but it is going to turn the economy in their favor since, like I said before, even a little bit of economic harassment on 1 or 2 points creates a huge momentum swing in 4v4. Katyusha, oh my god. Katyusha pounding this area again, wipes out the Puma and so much infantry. There goes another full squad. Jeez. I'm surprised we don't have any B4s up yet, I guess. Wow, look at the command points. Barton has 14 command points and Don Billy only has 7. I don't think I've ever seen a disparity that bad. That is just disgusting. And the rest of his teammates only have 9. That's pretty amusing, I have to say. Meanwhile, Axis 13, 10, 9, and 9. Pretty standard stuff, I would say. Nothing too egregious. Katyushas continue to pound away at the far side of the bridge, and it's just so much artillery. Even the IR half-track gets destroyed. Jeez. How many Katyushas do the Allies have right now? Let's see. 4. No Katyushas from Don Billy. I don't even know what he's building. That's a US player. And then 2 more from Smirk. So 6 Katyushas over there. No B4s yet, but I'm sure it's just a matter of time before they start cranking those out, in addition to take out heavily armored Axis targets as necessary. But the center victory point is still in Axis hands, and the Allies need to do something to take back control of that at some point, if possible.
Infantry squads can now be called to fight for the motherland.
A plane crashes in the river. These 2 demo charges shutting down any possibility of that bridge ever being repaired. Command Panther on the field being forced to reverse into a huge Katyusha barrage! Those Obersoldaten barely make it away. Look at all these rockets! This is ridiculous. It almost looks like the victory strike. You Can call in the Katyusha victory strike every 60 seconds or whatever. That Command Panther probably stands no real chance of ever hunting down and destroying those Katyushas if the Allies screen against armored pushes even half-heartedly. I don't know, I could be wrong. This area is surprisingly quiet and undefended. The Command Panther's just cruising through this town like it's no big deal, like right into the Allied base. I almost wonder if he's gonna pick something up here. Slips through the cracks. There goes one Katyusha. Oh no, SU-85 being queued up by Barton to try and do something about this. I wonder if he's gonna continue the hunt. No units around that can damage his engine. If he can take out like 3 Katyushas, he'll actually get value on this investment even if it dies. He's going so deep. He's going so deep. Those Katyushas are so cornered. I think Barton's gonna lose all of them. That one goes down to destroyed engine plus the coaxial machine gun. KV-1 just got queued up in desperation, trying to get that Panther out of here. There goes another one. Trying to play ring around the rosy with the last Katyusha. If he can finish off that 4th one, he'll get serious value out of this Panther even when it dies. There it goes, Katyusha down. He's trying to blitz to safety, but he's not going anywhere. That's a dead Panther. Pretty good investment. That tank crew sacrificed themselves. To for the good of the cause. It had to be done to take out all that artillery. It's going to take a little while for Barton to mass that many again. He's got a decent amount of manpower in the bank, though. He's probably going to be throwing a B4 up next. Tier 4 structure goes up to try to defend the center point, but I mean, what are the odds of that thing surviving against the sheer volume of Allied artillery? That's just pointless. I don't know what they possibly think that this could accomplish. The 4 Katyushas being dead is probably the only reason it even survived that long. But there's still 2 more on the field, not to mention whatever's gonna get queued up next. Wow, Alfarius apparently has no units. He has no units except for this 2 squads of Oversoldat, and he just queued up. That's how bad he's been getting nailed by artillery this game. Earl Ragner has some stuff. There's only 1 infantry support gun on the field. I'm kind of surprised there's not like 50 of these lining the river and Stukas. I guess the Axis have been going with a more aggressive build. Panthers, some light vehicles trying to cross the river, and I applaud their efforts, but let's be realistic. Let's be realistic. Look at the map. What do you think you're going to be able to accomplish? Even with a Panther going into the base and killing 4 Katyushas, it hasn't changed the situation at all. It really hasn't. It's made basically no difference. The clock is now ticking against the Axis. The Allies having control of the victory point for now. Bit of a slugfest happening across the river. They're basically just trading vet. This isn't going to go anywhere for either player. Unless a B4 shot lands beautifully or something. Jackson moving up to support. I hope that Jackson doesn't block the Su-85's pathing here. Okay. Panther's gonna disengage. Su-85's gonna disengage. They both vet up. Nothing gets accomplished. Nobody's gonna sit there tank AFK for like 10 minutes slugging it out across the river. Another blob walks into the victory point circle. This is just asking for it. I think 2 different forms of off-map artillery just got dropped on this. And a Katyusha barrage. So much artillery, I don't even know what that was. Time on target and some other thing, I guess. Full retreat from the Axis again. And I'm actually surprised that there is still no B4 on the field. Oh wait, yes there is. There's one right there. Has it fired yet? Yes, it's fired a shot. Hasn't really hit anything though. 0 kills. I'm sure there'll be more in time. Couple priests rolling onto the field as well from the one American player. Infantry company is pretty much the only commander that can make any sense on this map, except for maybe airborne for like an aggressive paradrop behind enemy lines or something. Maybe if you could sneak like 10 squads of paratroopers and AT guns in the very corner of the map, you could like try and figure something out if your opponents weren't paying any attention.
Gun batteries report barrage strikes now available in your sector.
Jagdtiger on the field, and the B4, its counter, also on the field. I'm sure that B4 is going to be vetting up like crazy. I don't really think that Jagdtiger is all that likely to survive a significant amount of time. I could be wrong though, who knows. There's also a priest.
M7B1 self-propelled howitzer on station and ready for action.
Priest just direct hit the Jagdtiger right there. Panther takes engine damage as it moves up for a crush maneuver. 2 priest shots in a row just direct hit that Jagdtiger. Squads of American infantry getting wiped like crazy, but the point is decapped at least, I guess. Just more units into the meat grinder. Command Panther moving up to support and engagements as well, and another IR half-track has moved up to provide spotting for targets of opportunity by the Stuka. Is the Stuka still alive? There was one on the field at some point. I don't know where it went or what happened to that. I guess it's dead. I don't even know how it died. The Allies have barely even made it across the bridge, unless the B4 Katyusha's just nailed it. It should be alive. I guess not. I don't know what happened. Allies engaging a Command Panther here on the bridge, trying to do what they can from this angle. Sherman moving up to lead the charge with guards support, making their way into the capture circle, and they will have a brief moment where they seem to actually be able to get this territory under control while the Axis mobilize their forces. A couple infantry support gunshots being fired, but other than that, the Overcommand of West are a little weak on indirect fire. And I can't believe they haven't made more Stukas. I mean, why wouldn't they? Katyusha's pounding the Axis hard across the bridge. There goes another IR half-track. There goes another Obersoldaten squad.
Rifle squad ready for action.
Those guard rifles are going to take control of the center victory point. I like seeing the supporting fire there from the Jagdtiger. That's always fun, seeing that anti-infantry utility. That's 40 munitions to do and has a really quick cooldown, so pretty nice utility for the Jagdtiger to have here in the late game, especially defending victory points. No bridges have been repaired yet as far as I know. All engagements will continue to be centered around the central bridge until somebody tries to repair a bridge and try to get across in some other way. I don't think there's any Fallschirmjäger lights, airborne, nothing that can spawn behind enemy lines, so the only way to get territory is to try to cross this bridge, and it's clearly impossible. It's just impossible for either side. Lux is going deep, trying to find a Katyusha, I guess. It might find one if the Allies don't make some effort to stop it. There we go. Jackson goes hunting. Takes it down. Nice attempt, I guess. Ends pretty much how you'd expect it to, though. Oh man, the blob is reconstituting itself. Sturmoffizier in the mix and everything. Trying to get the victory point back under control with screening infantry and Command Panther in the front, but it's just a matter of time before some huge B4 shot or Katyusha barrage or whatever it is, priest. Some kind of artillery getting dropped in the capture circle. Jagdtiger trying to take shots across the river. A plane crashes into the building. Katyusha rockets pounding away, but it looks like the center point will get captured by the Axis at whatever cost. However many lives it takes. Oh god. Okay, that whole blob, not a single man survives. Like, they're not even bothering to retreat. Maybe because it doesn't do anything. Why even bother to retreat? The things that do retreat die too. The only thing left standing is the Jagdtiger. Another plane gets shot down there in the back. I don't know what that Yag Tiger thinks it's gonna do crossing the river like that. Other than probably die to Jackson fire. PTRSs are gonna daze it to death. Trying to get back to safety. Taking kind of an awkward route. Takes a shot at the Jackson, gets a big hit right there. I think we're gonna see a Yag Tiger go down. He's gonna have to make another one. He'll probably have time. Plenty of time left in this game, I'm sure. Oh, there was the B4 shot, way off target. This is just asking to get nailed by artillery, by the way. Both of these Yag Tigers are practically sitting on top of each other. Don't they know there's a B4 and priests on the field? Be careful. 2 B4 shots off target by just a sliver, just by a hair. Priest not having much better luck. Barton reproducing Katyushas rather than B4s, despite having chosen counterattack. He's got the manpower for a B4, but I guess he's just not going to throw one. He's getting himself extra combat engineers. He might be thinking of building one. Not sure. Again, against 4 OKW, they have almost no counter to the B4 in this situation, except for, I guess, the Stuka are just being really aggressive with their units. There goes that Panther. There is now an ISU 152 on the field. That is a true assault gun party. All these plane crashes, man. Every battle tells a story. It's happened 3 times in like one game. It's not like that's unique or special. This is so ridiculous. Axis trying to make a half-hearted push across the bridge. They don't really have that much units on this side, and I'm sure it's just a matter of time before they get completely pushed back. Axis continuing to have to retreat, reinforce field, fresh squads to try and maintain a hold on the center victory point. What was that? Assault artillery. I wonder if that might do something. There's actually significant enough stuff in this sector that might actually have a significant effect. Since that Overcommando West are so hurt for indirect fire options, I can see why that would be tempting. I'm honestly amazed that we haven't seen more Stukas. It seems so obvious that you would just want to spam Stukas like crazy on this map, but I guess that Stukas aren't quite that effective. I mean, probably more effective against tanks than Katyushas are, in all fairness. I would have expected like 10 Stukas by now, but they're just building Yag Tigers and Panthers and stuff, which makes sense normally, of course, but on this map, I mean, why would we... why even try? Why even try? Both bridges still destroyed. Axis making a bit of an attempt across the center. ISU taking big shots on that Panther. Jackson and SU-85. Is that Barton's Jackson? Apparently Barton took a Jackson from his teammate. I don't know if that got abandoned in combat or if he just jumped in while the crew was outside repairing. I somehow doubt that his teammate consented to the commandeering of this Jackson, but alright. Barton has a Jackson now apparently. Huge bazooka blob moving up with tank support to take out the overextended Yag Tiger, and it will go down to an SU-85 shot from range. Katyusha, massive Katyusha barrage coming in. Will force a retreat or kill. all infantry in the area. We may see the Allies make an attempt at getting one victory point under control again. There's still a Command Panther being a thorn in the Allies' side, but I think it's gonna die. I could be wrong though. I mean, it's definitely gonna die, but it might be able to take out this ISU-152. Fallschirmjäger. Oh, there are Fallschirmjäger. I forgot about this guy. He went through lava. So there are Fallschirmjäger available to spawn behind enemy lines and maybe harass territory, except for that all the buildings over here are crewed by 1 or 2 or... and just basically almost dead penal battalions. So any Fallschirmjäger he attempts to spawn out of these buildings will just spawn from the normal rally point. A Katyusha just went down to the Command Panther. That Command Panther is getting work done over here. Did it take out the ISU? Yeah, it did. ISU goes down. Both Katyushas go down. I don't know what that was aimed at. Apparently the rest of his team is not really that concerned by the fact that there's a Command Panther killing all of the artillery. These 4 Katyushas are still alive though. The priest's also still alive, so... he's put a little tiny dent in the Allied artillery, but other than that, nothing all that impressive. There's a Sturm Tiger. Sturm Tiger should probably be pretty okay for helping to defend the center VP. Taking out squads here and there. Probably not as good as a Stuka would be, especially on this linear bridge. Is that Command Panther still alive? Now trying to kill another ISU? Assault artillery being called in on that sector again. A KV-1 is trying to finish off that Panther. The Yag Tiger here has made its way up to the front lines, but it's going in really deep with the Jackson behind it for some reason. Not really sure what this is gonna do, other than lose him his Yag Tiger, but okay. Command Panther hunting down a half track now. Smoke grenade will not accomplish much of anything. And finally, Barton's Vet 3, apparently. Jackson will put... there's an abandoned Yag Tiger right there. It went in deep and got abandoned without support. Oh, God. That's not good. If Barton were to crew that, he would be able to... no! It's abandoned and destroyed again! Oh, nice Stuka barrage with the save. I thought the Allies were going to have a Yag Tiger, a vetted Yag Tiger by the end of this game, but finally the Axis decided to field another Stuka. It's about time. Sherburne and ISU-152 moving up to try to support. Axis have brought the Allies down to only 56 points remaining. The clock is about to start ticking against them again as Fallschirmjäger take control of the point with Sturm Tiger support. Another plane crashes over here, destroying the building. There's like weapons and stuff everywhere. Something just died. I don't know what it was. Why would Don Billy not build like 20 B4s? He has 2,000 manpower and no units. I don't understand what he's doing. Why would he not build a ton of artillery and just blast the Axis to death? I don't get it. American player is kind of pop-capped. He needs to make like way more priests. Way more priests. Smear spending most of his resources on ISU-152s as far as I can tell. And Barton spending pretty much everything on Katyushas. He hasn't built a single B4, I don't think. For the motherland or for Mother Russia, active on his shock troops. I can never remember what this ability is called. Here comes the Sturm Tiger shot. Oh, it was a little off target. Shock troops actually survive. And they will be able to get the clock ticking against the Axis again. While the Axis continue to mobilize forces back towards this area. ISU-152 set up here on the staircase with high explosive rounds. It's going to make it very dangerous for infantry to attempt to take this point. Not to mention the Katyushas, not to mention the Jacksons. the B4s that should be on the field, but apparently are not. The priests. Now he's building them. There's one. There's two. Still has 800 manpower to spare. Compared to the Axis 1 Stuka indirect fire support, not all that impressive, and it keeps on driving up into suicidally close range for these barrages. Almost died to ISU 152 fires, one Katyusha barrage away from death. Yogg Tiger and Panther moving up to engage. There goes that Sherman. Oh no, that's not a Yogg Tiger, that's a King Tiger. I'm surprised we haven't seen more of these, actually. Spending a lot of resources on Yagg Tigers. The Yagg Tiger probably makes more sense, except for when they try to use the Yagg Tiger like a King Tiger and cross the bridge instead of sit from a defensive position. Axis get control of the center point once again, and the clock is ticking against the Allies. 38 points remaining. ISU 152's firing on infantry formations were not sufficient to prevent the capture of that point. The Allies are about to run out of time if they don't make something happen soon. That was a lot of artillery on that King Tiger right there. Wow. That just got melted. Sturm Tiger shot across the river, doesn't really connect all that well with the ISU, and it's probably going to go down. Marked vehicle with Jackson and bazooka fire takes out that Sturm Tiger easily enough, and the Allies continue to work on the center victory point, getting control of it now. Axis need to keep up the pressure on that center point, need to just keep on flooding infantry into the capture circle. This is a pretty feeble looking push, just 2 squads. They need to get more stuff into the center VP. Alfarius has 3,000 manpower. Come on, Alfarius. How long are you going to spend in this game with literally no units on the field? Like, how much stuff do you have to lose for you to be convinced, okay, I'll make some units? Safardo and Earl Ragnar and Kexdos keeping their resource counts pretty low. They need Alfarius to make a little bit more of an effort, though. They need him to bring that 5% effort. Oh man. I don't even know what B4s are shooting at. Targeting over here, apparently. I don't think that really hit anything. Probably just fired blind into the fog of war, hoping. Allies have stopped the clock. 27 victory points remaining. Katyushas are just pounding away. 5 Katyushas. Between them, 51 kills. 52, 54. 54 kills between those 5 Katyushas, and that's after losing 4 Katyushas to 1 Panther. So he's made 9 this game, I think. Unless I missed some more dying. Don Billy has finally decided to spend his resources now that the game is like they're gonna lose if he doesn't. And he has built 3 B4s and has hit his pop cap. Barton also pop capped. Everyone pretty much pop capped over here on the Allied side of things. Meanwhile, the Axis are at 6. 26, 9, and 32, which is pretty pathetic. They don't even have 100 pop caps worth of units, I don't think. Compared to 400 of 400 Allied pop cap almost. Just getting blasted into submission on this half of the river. So much artillery, blowing up trucks. All targets of like high priority targets are pretty much gone. I don't even know if there. I guess there's a Stuka still on the field. But other than that, no more heavy tanks, no more Yag Tigers or assault guns. There's a Puma. A Puma and a Stuka are the heaviest armor that the Axis currently have on the field. And a massive swarm of Allied artillery continues to pound away at every tiny little remnant that the Axis has left. Taking out trucks, infantry squads. 2 Shermans seems to be all that's needed at this point to lead this charge. A couple Rakettenwerfers are sort of holding the line, I guess. It's probably just a matter of time before they get blasted by something. Allies have the Axis triple capped now, sending guards to grab the left side VP, and we're finally going to see an attempt to repair a bridge now that there's nothing left from the Axis to defend. Here, have a plane crash. Left side bridge getting repaired, right side bridge still no repairs. We've also got some mines and wire defending, so it might take a little more effort to get across that one. Certainly doable though. I think a Katyusha is blowing up this bridge. I don't know, something was trying to blow up that bridge. I don't know why. Rakettenwerfer wiped right here. Axis now only have 200 points remaining and are still operating on a tiny army. Losing squads, losing units way faster than they can produce them. Alfarius has actually spent 1,500 manpower since I last checked. Queuing up 3 Volksgrenadier and 3 Obersoldaten squads. That B4 shot just blasted his teammate's own blob of riflemen, because, I mean, why not? I don't know, whatever. Grenade from those Fallschirmjäger will convince those 2 squads to retreat, but I don't really see any Axis squads taking control of a victory point anytime soon. Certainly not the right side or center. Left side may fall to this push. Trying to hold the line with just some combat engineers and guards.
Volksgrenadier are on the line.
Yag Tiger firing at some forces over here. Shock troops trying to cross the bridge, keep up the pressure. Probably just a matter of time until the Allies win if they keep this up. I don't know if I think Yag Tiger is a logical decision against what they're currently facing. But at the same time, I don't know if there's anything that the Axis can reasonably build that's going to give them a chance against what they are currently up against. I think they've pretty much just lost no matter what they build. I guess by building a Yag Tiger, he is providing a nice juicy target for his opponent's artillery, saying, hey, shoot at this. That'll make a cool explosion. Every battle tells a story. I want to tell the story of how my Yag Tiger got blown up by B4s on Sittard Summer. It's so unique. I'm sure that's never happened in auto match before. I'm sure that games like this are never seen. A couple Panthers on the field managed to take out a few lighter Allied armored targets over there on the right side, trying to make a bit of a push for the center, I guess. Giant blobs of infantry working on the left side victory point. Firing on stuff. Oh man, ouch. That was pretty good. B4s and artillery pounding away at that Panther, pounding away at that Jagdtiger. One-man Obersoldaten squad trying to take control of the victory point and slow down the clock, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. The Allies are finally about to pull into the lead. There it goes. Only 25 points remaining for the Axis. They actually do pull up a Panther and take control of the left side, but I'm not sure that it's going to count for that much with only 19 points remaining. It doesn't look like they're going to be able to get control of a victory point anytime soon. They just don't have any indirect fire with which to take out Allied defenses. And every heavily armored target they present instantly gets obliterated by huge amounts of artillery and assault gun fire, or long-range tank destroyer fire, whatever. Volksgrenadiers making a desperate attempt for the center. There goes the Panther to Jackson's. Volksgrenadiers will go down soon. Can't believe that squad of Volksgrenadiers is still alive. They actually do get the point captured, and the clock is ticking against the Allies with only 10 points remaining. KV-1 moves up into the capture circle with secure mode active, waiting patiently for those Panzer Fusiliers to die. Katyusha barrage will clear the point. Actually deactivated secure mode, needs to throw it back on. Oh man, Axis are taking control of the right side with Fallschirmjäger, but Barton left his position in all of these buildings with his squads. I think the Allies might lose. I don't know, I can't tell. Taking back control of the center VP with his KV-1. Fallschirmjäger fending off some shock troops that sprint over here with For Mother Russia active, tossing a grenade. Oh, and he takes the engagement. The clock is ticking against the Allies, but it will start ticking against the Axis again very soon, as the Allies work on the center point and the right side point falls into Barton's control with those shock troops. Volksgrenadiers making a desperate final last stand in the capture circle. They toss one grenade. The KV-1 got abandoned. Oh, satchel charge wipes the squad. 5 points left for the Allies. Axis are desperately charging the center with everything they have left. A plane falls on the ISUs over here and kills one. Oh my goodness. The other one brought down to about half. The smoke screen preventing it from firing. The clock is still stopped. Katyusha's just bombarding the center point without regard. The KV-1 empty tank is destroyed. Volksgrenadiers about to get wiped by another satchel charge by another squad of Volksgrenadiers. Desperately jumps into the capture circle, trying to slow things down. The clock is stopped and the center point is contested. Penal Battalion is about to get wiped. Fallschirmjäger moving up to try and do what they can do here. Jackson moving for the crush maneuver. Infantry desperately trying to be funneled into the center VP. ISU 152 fire is just annihilating everything left and right. It is a mass grave. Oh, the carnage. Oh, the carnage. Nothing can survive. The B4 is firing, signal the final death knell of the Axis as some riflemen move into the capture circle to clean up in the aftermath. The game will go to the Allies. Axis made their best effort there at the very end. Brought the Allies down to only 4 points remaining. But they really just don't have anything left with which to try to salvage this game. And there you have it. GG, I guess. I think there's really, I mean, if I'm being honest with Relic here, every single game that gets played on this map is going to look exactly like this. I don't think this map has any potential to generate interesting play in auto match. I think it's a great custom map. It's really beautiful. It's really fun for casual players that want to play against AI. or whatever. I can definitely see that 100%, but I really hope that it'll be removed from auto match soon, because it obviously is not fit for competitive play in the least. So I implore Relic to remove this from the rotation, because this just does not generate interesting auto match competitive multiplayer gameplay. So I hope that Relic will take that into consideration for this particular map Spotlight. But I certainly think the map looks very nice. I think Monolithic Bacon and Mirage clearly worked very hard on it to make it a beautiful map and to make it a fun map for custom games or games versus AI. So props to them for that at least. Otherwise, GG. Allies win.